when there's gold, actually for today, I don't know if you want to worry about it, here, but just so you like kind of know for the future. So like if I go to double click this, you can enter it like as a goal, or just go like this, and just enter it, and once you get it okay, that's all you're on. Sure. Yeah. And the same thing, there's a period button here too. And then there's a period button. It's the same thing. This right here comes up, period 1. Yeah. What do you see about it? Outside, no matter what we do over there. Brandon saying I mean, every once in a while I might need to look over here a bit, but it's more than fine. Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Yeah. Test. Hey, Brandon, as long as this is moving, it means the mic's working, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And as long as
And welcome into the Jerome McGinley Arena for Tier 1 Junior B action. There's the visiting Outlaws coming in at 5-11, take on the St. Albert Crude at 4-12. It's been a long, arduous climb for the Outlaws up the league status structure, but for the first time in their history, the mountaintop is starting to come into view, and no better time than now with the provincials in their backyard. Meanwhile, the Crude will look to spoil the party as they try to snatch that last playoff spot away from the Outlaws before they clinch their first playoff berth since coming into the league in 2018. Head-to-head this year, the Outlaws lead the season series 2-1, winning the last meeting 10-8 at home. And the Outlaws come into the game sitting third in the North with 10 points, while the Crude come in at 8 points. And here's Weatherby in on transition and tried to tuck that short side. He stepped in the crease and it'll be Crude ball. And here are the Crude coming up with the ball. Starting goaltenders in this game, you've got Yuri Zadrazil for the Outlaws. He comes in with a 75% save percentage. And in the other end, you've got William Horn coming in to the game with an 80% save percentage. Ball's going to be battled for out in front of the Outlaws net, and they're going to say it's Outlaw ball here. Here's Long. He gets the ball up floor, and the Outlaws offense will make its way out. Here's the dangerous Maloney, the rookie, with 48 points on the season, 20 of them goals. Been a major threat for the Outlaws out the front gate. Here's Lee backdoor to Maloney. And that went wide. Ball is picked up by the Crude. That's Dzwanka, and he'll send it up to Walker as the Crude make their way up the floor here. Here's Knowlton. He swings it over to Kerr. Kerr with the trade of Fodchuk, now the leading scorer for St. Albert, comes into the game with 45 points, 26 of those goals. And now an outside rip from Simon Leung. And the Crude take an early 1-0 lead. Another rookie for the Crude out of Sherwood Park. Simon Leung gets them on the board, and the Crude have the early lead. Now off the draw, the Outlaws are going to run back and grab the ball, and it's Weatherby. Weatherby hits Hobday off the bench, and the captain will come up floor. Here's Hobday down the left side. Hobday up over top of his defender. Swings it to Lee. Lee over to the left side. Now inside to Preston Stewart. Good stop there by Horn as he shuts off the bottom part of the net. Here's Wedman in transition. Good stop there by Zadrazil. Now the ball's going to be picked up by the Outlaws in the far corner. Ball is sent up over Cutler's head, and he's going to have a hard time with this, and then he nails Lopez into the ground. They're going to say interference, and it's going to be a Crude power play. If I can figure it out. Now it's going to be Fry up top with it. Knowlton back to Fry up top. Here's Kerr. Fry gets the loose ball. Back up to Kerr. He winds and fires, and that's stopped by Zadrazil. Now Kerr off of the left shooter. Up top to Fry, behind the back to Knowlton. Knowlton down low to Schaff. Knowlton, Fry, Kerr. Now Leung comes up off the crease. Knowlton over to Kerr. He winds and fires and scores. And it's 2-0. Crude here early up over the Outlaws. And right after the goal, the Crude are going to pick up a penalty for roughing. Looks like Fry. It will be Fry serving the roughing penalty, so right after the Crude get up 2-0, they're going to have to try and kill one off as they seize the early momentum. As they sort this out, get the time up on the clock. They still have that penalty that was just scored upon up on the clock. That will be removed. Now they do so, and they look ready to go here with the Outlaw power play set up in the offensive zone. Here's Maloney. Lee. Back to Maloney. They play catch. Stewart will roll up top. Tried to send that down to Hobday, and that got picked back up off the boards. And Lee winds and fires the sidearm, and good stop there by Horn. And Lee up top. Lee to Hobday. Hobday up to Lee. Lee gets it back from Tompkins and sends that one into the stick of Horn. Now here's Hobday in transition. Hobday, Stewart, over to Maloney, who got stopped as Horn got across, and he stepped in the crease as he picked the loose ball back up, and it's going to be Outlaw ball, or Crude ball, excuse me. Here's Nolsky up over center. He gets it to Wedman. Double comes over. Now Wedman out of the corner, Wedman out in front, and he threw that into the equipment of Zadrazil. Crude will get the reset, trying to kill the remaining 40 seconds on this man short. Now Wedman inside, and he tried to reach around Zadrazil, wasn't quite able to do so. And it will be Outlaw ball. Here's Hobday. Hobday up to Lee. Stewart tried to swing that over to Hobday. That got picked up. Now cross crease pass to Tompkins, and Horn again sliding over to make that save. Horn sharp early in this one as the Crew preserved their 2-0 lead through that man short. Here's Harris. He's being checked there by Maloney. He gets away. Now Harris will circle around the net. He comes out in front untouched and throws it around Zadrazil. And the Outlaws not ready to play here early. It's 3-0. Now off the draw, the Outlaws will gain possession. And it'll be Cook getting it up floor here for the Outlaws offense to go to work. Here's Turner. Turner swings it to Lee. Lee up top. He ends up shooting that right into the logo of Horn. Ball's going to go loose. And now it's going to pop back out. And it's going to be regathered by the Outlaws. Ball swung back over to the left side. Lee with it. He looks inside to Turner, who was sort of stopped up on the crease. That was out of his reach. Now Tompkins is going to wind and fire. That's well high. Turner off the rebound. Inside. And Turner gets stopped by Horn. Wedman will grab that loose ball and get it to Fry. Here's Fry. Off the half wall. Pick set. That ball sent into Knowlton. Knowlton swings it to Leung. Leung winds and fires well wide. And the Outlaws pick that up momentarily, but Knowlton's going to cause that turnover, and the Crude will come out with the loose ball. Here's Fry. Fry over to Leung.
Crude end up getting a shot there, and it'll be Outlaw ball, as the Outlaws will come up floor. That was Rogalski. He gets it to Maloney. Maloney across the top, winds and fires, and Horn stops that. Ball's going to be picked back up by the Crude, but it's going to be lost again, and Maloney will collect that. Maloney swings it up top. Here's Stewart. Stewart, half wall to Lee. Lee surveys up top, and Hobday coming across the top off the 24-foot line. Shot that on the run, and Horn stops that. Here's Dzwanka for the Crude. Dzwanka in transition. He hits Stenson off the bench. Kerr down to Leung. That missed him, and now Leung will work hard to regather that loose ball. And out in front, Schaff was left all alone, and he tried to reach around Zadrazil. Makes a good save there. And Leung working hard for another loose ball. Gets it, and then loses it again, but now it's going to go loose into the corner, and eventually Weatherby will go and grab that, and a delayed penalty is going to be coming up to the Crude. As the Outlaws look to push up floor, that's Murray. Murray will get that to Hobday, and the Outlaw captain will come out onto the floor. The Outlaw net empty, they go 6 on 5. Hobday over to Tompkins. That looked like it might have caught a piece of Horn's stick, and maybe the butt end, and with that, it'll be the Crude headed to the box, and it'll be another Outlaw power play. Looks like Stenson will serve the slashing penalty. So it'll be Lee up top with Maloney and Stewart on the shooters, and Hobday and Tompkins on the crease. Now behind the net. And Hobday couldn't handle that. And it'll bounce harmlessly into the back of the net, where it'll be picked up by McBride. McBride out over center. And he got through a couple of Outlaws. Now he comes out in front, tried to sneak that one through Zadrazil, and got stopped, and the Outlaw power play will go back to work here. Hobday. 45 points on the season. Gets it up top to team's leading scorer Lee, who sent it to Stewart, and that shot got blocked. Lee up top. Down to Stewart. Stewart out in front. That was fought off by Horn. Tompkins and Maloney. Now inside to Stewart, and he ripped that wide. Here's Dzwanka, who will go and grab that out of the crease. Dzwanka. He goes up floor. He's going to run past Hobday, and now Dzwanka tried to get it to Wedman in transition. That bounces into the glass, and Zadrazil will pick that up for the Outlaws and try to outlet. Here's Weatherby. As he got that to Cook, and the Outlaws will have 20 seconds remaining in this power play. Lee. Tompkins. Lee up top again. That pass was sent through, and then Turner, off of a broken play there on the loose ball, picked it up and tried to go behind the back. Horn with another stop. Lee over to Maloney. Maloney sub shot, and he pulls that short side, and it's 3-1. And always one of the toughest shots for a goalie to handle is that sidearm pull to the short side. Maloney did that to perfection there, and he gets the Outlaws on the board. It's 3-1 at Crude. The Outlaws will win that draw and look to grab some momentum here as we have about 9 minutes to go in the first period. And the Outlaws trailing the Crude 3-1. Ball is swung over to Maloney. Maloney this time tried to go far side. Horn stood tall on that one. And he's going to look to outlet here. Horn to Harris. Harris will lumber out over center. Tried to throw that back to Fry. Bit of a tough pass. Behind Fry. Fry will get that back. Now he tried to hit Kerr cutting in off the bench. Misses him, and now the Outlaws will head up floor. Here's Cutler, another rookie out of Sherwood Park. Spent a little bit of time with the Warriors. Actually went with the Warriors to the Founders Cup as a midget or a U17 player last season. Here's Lee. He comes hard up across the top, and that looked like it hit a Crude defender and bounced harmlessly into Horn. Here's Lopez. Lopez takes a whack. He gives one back to Lee. And they're gonna catch that. And it looks like Lopez is gonna have to serve 2 for a slash here. Lopez took one, and unfortunately the ref didn't catch it, and he gave one back, and he's gonna serve. So it'll be another Outlaw power play as they hit their 3rd of the game already. Their goal did come technically outside of the last power play opportunity, but the Crude weren't quite able to get that 5th guy back onto the floor. So in effect, it was sort of a power play goal, even though on the score sheet it won't read as one. I don't know what the delay was there, but the Outlaws will come in on their power. A bit of a hidden ball trick. That gets picked off. Good stick there by Drader. But he gets stripped, and now the Outlaws will repossess. Here's Hobday. Down low. He plays catch with Maloney. Back to Hobday. Lee up top. And that was a bad pass, but Stewart able to save that. Here's Tompkins. Tompkins. Stewart looked inside there to Hobday. He goes and gets that loose ball off of the knockdown pass, but Horn turns away Stewart on that little sidearm shot. Now, a pass well over Tompkins' head, ends back up top with Hobday. Tompkins off of that right shooter. Good shoulder stop there by Horn. Ball's gonna go loose, but it's not picked up by the Crude. Drader's gonna hustle for it now over center. Now Drader has a man out in front wide open, and he sails that behind him. Now, ball's gonna be picked up by the Outlaws, and with 45 seconds left on the power play, their offense will hit the floor once again. Here's Hobday with Maloney off the left side. Maloney. Hobday with all day and all sorts of room off of the shooter. Rips that off the short post. The Outlaws will get a reset. Here's Maloney. Swings it. Back to Hobday. Hobday! Exactly where Maloney scored. He pulled that short side low. And this time Horn able to get his foot on the ball. Excellent stop there by the Crude rookie. He's made some big saves here as the Outlaws now have 18 shots and only 1 goal. Now Lee tried to go short side. That misses, and now the Crude will get their man back out on the floor as we go back to even strength. Now Lopez drives Maloney through the box. And it'll be Crude ball with the shot clock expiration. Here's Lopez. Up floor to Knowlton. He gets the ball down low to Fry. Fry hops out of the corner. Ball swung over to Kerr. Delayed penalty coming up against the Outlaws. Kerr just bowls his way, as you've seen him do so many times this season. Pushes his defender to the net. That gets stopped by Zadrazil, but now the Outlaws, it'll be Brett Murray going off. As official Nathaniel Gillespie chats with him, tells him He's headed to the box, 2 minutes for slashing. So it'll be a Crude power play with 5:31 to go here, first period. And the Crude leading at 3-1. A little bit of a rough pass there. And the Crude will grab that back. Kerr down to Leung. Kerr, Fry up top. Knowlton, Fry. A little bit of a pick there. Well, it looked like one. Knowlton rolled off of it. Now he sets a pick for Kerr. He fires that wide. Kerr up top. He's harassed there by good aggressive defense by Weatherby, and then off of the rebound that came off glass, Knowlton sent that one off the floor, and it'll be Outlaw ball. Up floor here now is Rogalski. Rogalski hits Cheka off of, and he goes all the way across the defender's face right to the net and gets stopped by Horn. Here's Fry back out with the ball here on the Crude power play. Here's Schaff. Tried to get it across crease to Leung. He just flips that up, goes into the stick of Knowlton, back over to Kerr, and Kerr gets a shot off of the lower body of Zadrazil, and it'll be a Crude ball here with the reset. 4 minutes to go, 30 seconds left in the power play. 3-1. Crude lead the Outlaws. Here's Fry. Fry. Kerr. Fry. Seam pass to Schaff. Out in front to Kerr, who goes short side on Zadrazil. It's 4-1. And the Outlaws gonna need to find some energy here, as although they have 19 shots in this game and Horns played well, haven't quite seen the urgency and intensity out of them, especially defensively. And we'll see if that picks up as they become more in danger here as this game moves along. Here's Fry off the right side. Pick set there by Knowlton. Fry is going to look to swing. He gets it up top to Kerr. Kerr waiting for a pick. Back over to Knowlton. Knowlton, crowd of Outlaw defenders just sitting in the middle of the floor there as Kerr gets yet another shot, and that'll be picked up by the Outlaws as Wedman races out. Now it's going to be turned over, and the Crude back with it. 3 minutes to go, first period. Crude up 4-1. Here is Stenson looking to swing. He's going to shoot instead. That goes wide. Ball's going to bounce out to center with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Kerr is going to hit Stenson off of the pick and roll. That goes wide, and the Outlaws will gain possession. Here's Eric Long out of the Parkland Posse organization. The rookie, Hobday out in front, and he buries past Horn. And it's 4-2. Very lackadaisical change there by the Crude, as the Outlaws really didn't even push that up the floor all that fast, but they found themselves with the opportunity, and Hobday buries it, cutting the lead down to 2. Now off the draw, it'll be Drader. Drader goes into the Outlaw zone, circles back. Here's Kerr, the big lefty. He's met there by the much smaller but aggressive Weatherby. Now a second Outlaw defender came over, was able to knock the ball loose, and eventually Murray will pick that up. That was Keka doing a good job of coming over and helping on her turning that ball over. Now as the ball goes into the far corner, it's going to be Lopez grabbing and heading out over center with it for the Crude. Here's Schaff. Excuse me. Leung. Inside to Stenson, who goes low on Zadrazil, and it's 5-2. And you've seen that a few times already in this game as Crude offensive players able to just sort of set that pick or slip off the pick inside. Nobody going with them. I don't know, the Outlaws not switching right now, not communicating, and the Crude have taken advantage of it. It's 5-2. Here's Hobday for the Outlaw offense. Now a little bit of a tie up there as a couple of players hit the floor. Now out in front, Hobday sent down from behind. That'll be a call. It's delayed penalty up, and the shot clock's going to expire before the Outlaws are able to get a shot off, and it'll be a Crude penalty, and the Outlaws will go back to the power play. So it won't be a check from behind, it'll be a cross check. So it'll only be 2 minutes. And with 42 seconds left in the period, the Outlaws will try to dent this Crude lead before they go into the intermission. Lee will start up with it up top. And that gets over to Maloney. And Lee had slipped inside. Good stick by Noski. Noski out over center. He works his way through 2 Outlaws all the way to the net. Now he tried to flip it in front to Knowlton. That was picked off by Lee, and it'll be Outlaw ball here with 15 seconds left, and they'll have the last possession of the period. And off the quick stick, the Outlaws took their time there, and the period's going to expire with the score. St. Albert Crude 5, Beaumont Outlaws 2, as the Crude look to pull even in the win column with the Outlaws, as both battle for the final position in the North, final playoff position in the North. Again, after 2 periods of play, it is the Outlaws 2, the Crude 5. We thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV, and hit that subscribe button. Here with you all summer long, right through the provincials in Beaumont. We'll see you in just under 10 minutes time. Welcome back into Jerome McGinley Arena here in St. Albert, where it's the St. Albert Crude leading the Beaumont Outlaws by a count of 5-2. The Outlaws will begin the second period on the power play with Cale Harris serving his penalty. Now the ball's going to bounce into the Outlaw bench off an Outlaw stick. It's going to be a Crude ball. Here's Wedman out over center to Drader. Drader gonna be doubled. Now out of the double, out in front, walks across the net, and Zadrazil turns that away. Now the Outlaws come up floor. Here's Hobday for the Outlaws as he flips to Lee. Lee comes around the pick as he fades down the shooter side. He tried to get that across to Hobday, and that was knocked down. The Outlaws struggling with their passing right now, as that was nowhere near the intended target. Now a breakaway for the Crude. Fry in tight on Zadrazil. They're going to say he stepped in the crease, and it's going to be Outlaw ball. And if you're watching at home, feel free to interact in the chat. Tell me what you think about this Outlaw jersey. Do you guys think the logo is too big or not? I don't know. It looks massive to me every time I watch this team play. Share your thoughts with us on CROW LAX TV. Now the shot gets sent into Horn. Now was stopped, and it'll be Crude ball. Harris out of the box. That's going to bounce over his head and be snagged by Zadrazil. Ball's moved up to Cutler. Cutler will stop up as he survives a hack from Harris. And here's Keka for the Outlaws. Hobday. Or sorry, that was Maloney. Good stop there by Horn. And now Dzwanka will pick up the loose ball and head up floor. Dzwanka will look for some help, and he's going to be pressed there by Maloney. Maloney all over him. Now Dzwanka survives that and gets the ball up floor. Fry tried to hit a cutting curve. That didn't connect, and now Leung off of a pick and roll. They're going to say he was moving on Stenson, and it'll be Outlaw ball. Here is Rogalski over to Tompkins. Lee over to Turner. Big winding shot sent in. That was off of a stick, and it'll be Outlaw ball. Crude ball, sorry. Leung. Fry hard off the bench. He runs across the top. He is going to make his way back over to the right side of the floor. Schaff jumps around a check, and he throws that up into the glass. Ball's going to be trapped by Zadrazil, and he'll outlet up floor. Here's Weatherby as he pushes in transition. Weatherby over to Keka. Keka. It's going to be defended there by Searson. Keka engages him. Now he drops the ball over to Stewart. Stewart swings it. Down low to Maloney. Maloney underneath. Not quite able to get out to net front, and now the 30-second clock will expire. Good defense there by the Crude. One of their better defensive sets of the game, and they're going to come out with it as Searson drops the ball off, and he takes a tumble, and now the Outlaws will come back up floor. Outlaws. A little bit of a free hand there. Now that was Gaudreau with it, and he'll hand off to Lee. Lee gets checked there by Lopez. Tried to get it into Gaudreau, who cut to net. And dangerous bounce pass there, sent up by James Leon. Good job by Kerr to grab that. Now he's gonna try to run through Cook. Ball's gonna go loose. They're gonna call loose ball interference on the Outlaws. It'll be Crude ball. Here is Leung. Leung circles back. Now tries to go underneath Cutler, the two teammates from last season in U17A out of Sherwood Park, going head to head. Ball is sent back up to Leung. Leung throws a little bit of a rolling shot into Zadrzil. Now 2-on-1 off bench as the Outlaws quickly move it up floor, and they convert off of the 2-on-1. It's 5-3. And we've seen the Outlaws capitalize a couple times now in transition. Last one was a bit of a slow change. This one, it was not really too much the Crude could have done aside from maybe having some of their old guys stay on the floor and get rid of that transition opportunity. But once the change started, there was no way they were going to get back for that. Here's Drader. Now Fry up across the top. He tried to shoot that in on goal. That was knocked down by an Outlaw stick. Now in transition again. Here's Rogalski out in front, and he goes short side on Horn, and it's 5-4. He's an affiliate, so I don't think he'll be on. Now off the draw, ball's going to be batted back, and it's going to be picked up by Cook. Cook circles back. He's going to be checked aggressively there by Wedman, and now eventually he drops it off to Hobday. Here's Keka off the right side, and he's going to be defended there by Walker. Ball is bounced over to Turner, who winds and fires. That looked like it went 5-hole. It's 5-5. That's one of those things about the sport of lacrosse, is games can turn on their head really quickly. The Outlaws go on a little bit of a run here, and in a matter of a few minutes, the game goes from 5-2 to 5-5. Nice face-off win there by the Crude as Wedman picks that up. Here's Schaff. Schaff inside to Fry. Good stop there by Zadrzil, as Fry will go to the far boards to collect that loose ball. Kerr defended there by Weatherby. Kerr doubled there as a second Outlaw defender came over. Now the ball is going to be picked back up and sent out in front, and Zadrzil not able to grabbed the ball with his hand as he pushed that into the corner. And it'll be a fresh 30 to work with for the Crude. Kerr to Leung. Leung tried to go far side around Zadrazil. That's shut off. And now Long will pick it up for the Outlaws. Here's Weatherby out across center. Out in front, the ball was bounced up over top of the net. Now Weatherby gets sent down. There'll be interference on the Crude. And the Outlaws will have a fresh 30 to work with. Here's Maloney. Inside to a cutting Kai Lee, who was pushed back by a Crude defender. Here's Turner. Tried to go back to that sidearm, shot low, and it got soaked. Turner mishandles that one. The shot clock's going to expire, and it's going to be Crude ball. Searson will come out with it. He sends that dangerously into the Crude box, almost smokes the trainer. Now Gaudreau in transition, and looked like McBride sort of hopped on his back there for a second. He's going to lose it. Now he's going to go and fight for it in the corner. He gets joined there by a couple of teammates. Hobday and Keka went in to help him out, but they're going to say loose ball push on the Outlaws, and it'll be a Crude ball. And now the ball was sent up to center floor where a couple of players were tangled up. Ball will go loose and into the Outlaws' possession. Now a wild pass in behind Maloney. That goes into the boards, bounces back into the crease, and they're going to say Outlaw ball. Here's Lee. Half wall to Keka. Ball swung back over to the left side. Maloney, hop step, underneath, and he bounced that wide on the short side. Lee with a bullet pass down low to a cutting Keka, and it's 6-5. Outlaws take the lead for the first time tonight. Yeah, it's just got information that it's actually Sika. The Outlaws program reading Keka. Caden Flett, nice enough to come by and let us know. Shout out to him. As the Crude take a timeout as they try to get a hold of this one, as the Outlaws get their first lead of the night with 11:50 to go in the second period and having a 6-5 lead. And they're going to say trap on the Outlaws off the face-off, and it's going to be a Crude ball. Here's Wedman. Wedman over to Kerr. Kerr is going to take this one right into the middle of the floor. He turns back, swings it back and forth with Fry. Now Leung underneath. Leung tried to go far side, and Zadrazil stops that. And as we wait for this to be blown back in, want to remind you to hit that subscribe button here on CROW LAX TV. With you here all throughout the Junior B and Senior B seasons. We'll, of course, have playoff action. And we will have full provincial coverage of the Junior B Tier 1 Larry Bishop Memorial that takes place in early August in Beaumont. Winner of that, of course, being sent to Poco, BC for the Founders Cup, the Junior B Nationals. That shot gets stopped by Horn, goes up into the ceiling, and it'll be outlaw ball. Here's Maloney, swings it over to Stewart. Stewart, ball is swung back over. Stewart again with it, and he sent that short side wide off of the glass. And it'll be Crude ball. 6-5, Outlaws lead. 10:45 to go here, second period. As this one's taking quite a while for the teams to get back out onto the floor for this possession. Here's Fry. Fry swings it. Kerr. And big winding sidearm shot by Knowlton. That was blocked by an Outlaw defender. As Rogalski will come out of the zone with it. He gets it up to Gaudreau. Gaudreau. Ball up top to Tompkins. Ball swung over to Lee, winds and fires. Good stop there by Horn. As Maloney, who doesn't have the ball, is getting cross-checked. No possession call, and it'll be a loose ball here picked up by McBride. McBride has Wedman breaking. Wedman in alone. Wedman. And he bounces that wide of Zadrazil. It'll be an outlaw ball. Here's Murray. Murray gets that up to Maloney. As the Outlaws will go righty strong here. Hard pick there set by Lee. Lee loses that. It's going to be picked up by Drader. Drader tucks underneath his defender in transition, and Zadrazil with a save there. As the Outlaws will slow this up as they come back up floor. 9:09 to go, second period. Outlaws leading 6-5. A win here would all but clinch that final playoff spot in the north, as the Outlaws would have to lose their remaining 3 games and the Crude would have to win their remaining 3 games for the Outlaws to be surpassed. Now off the bench, the ball just sitting in front of the Crude bench. They come back up floor. Had a 2-on-1 there. Zadrazil stood tall. Ball is going to be picked up out of the crease by the Outlaws, and that's rookie Cutler. As he gets stripped there of the ball up over center, but that bounces down to the far half wall, and it gets picked up by Hobday. Hobday. He swings that over. And that was picked up momentarily there by Sika, but he got knocked down, and they're going to say interference in the outlaw ball. Ball swung over. Here is Sika. Sika. And the ball ends up being stopped by Horn. And another breakaway, or a breakaway potential opportunity there. Now Dzwanka off the loose ball. Gets knocked down in front, and now Dzwanka is going to get sent to the box, as he didn't like being dragged down there, said something to the official, and he's going to get teed up there. Now a second one comes in, and the Outlaws are going to have a 4-minute power play opportunity. So the Outlaws about to hit a 4-minute power play. Well, it looks like the second part will be a 10-minute misconduct, so it'll only be the 2 minutes served. The Outlaws will have 2 minutes to work on the power play. Here's Lee. Plays catch with Maloney. Stewart. Back up to Lee. Maloney and Lee up top. Stewart. As the Outlaws really taking their time here. Now Hobday. Hobday off of the shooter. And that gets knocked down by a good Crude stick. The ball's going to go loose. It's going to be picked up by Drader. Drader in transition. Drader has Stewart turned around. He fires that in on Zadrazil, and that gets stopped. And Cutler will come back out with it. Cutler. Maloney out in front as he took the pass from Rogalski. And that's a good save in transition by Horn. The goalies each making some good saves right now in transition. Here's Harris. Harris is going to be checked there by Cutler as Hobday will join Cutler in on the attempt to strip the ball. Harris doing a good job of keeping the ball off of the boards, not trapping it. And now Harris pulls his way in front, unable to get that one in on the net. Now Wedman picks it up, sends one low in on Zadrazil, stopped by the Czechia netminder. Good draw out in front, wide open. Nobody on him, and he sends that wide. And the Outlaws still with 15 seconds to go on the power play as they look to get a better look here. Here's Hobday. Hobday out in front, across crease there to Sika. That was thrown harmlessly into the stick of Horn. And the Crude will go up over center. That's Blake. Blake checked there by Cook. Now roll there by Kerr to the net. Doesn't get the ball. That was a low pass as Fry sends Weatherby into the floor. And now there was an interference call. It was going to be Outlaw ball. The ball wasn't blown back in yet. The Outlaws picked it up and threw it into the net. They're going to correctly say it'll be Outlaw ball here with a fresh 30. As we restart here. Here's Maloney. Maloney, left shooter, shoots that into the crest of Horn. And it'll be Crude ball here. So I think they called some type of violation, maybe a moving pick of some kind on the Outlaws. Here's Leung, left side. Leung sends that over to Fry. Fry. Knowlton. Kerr. Kerr picks set there by Leung. Kerr winds and fires. Goes wide. They say moving on the Crude this time. And it'll be Outlaw ball. Here's Rogalski in transition. McBride harasses him a little bit. He sends that errantly into the boards. Now the ball is picked up by Gaudreau. Open in front of the net. A little bit of backyard ball here tonight as there's been a few broken plays. Now off bench, Crude with a breakaway. That was thrown right into the belly of Zadrazil. Here's Murray. Growing up playing for the South Edmonton Warriors out of Leduc. I should clarify that. He's from Leduc and eventually would go play in the A program in the South Edmonton area. Now there's a couple players tied up. And they're going to say Outlaw ball off of the pick and roll. That's Sika out in front. Good stop there by Horn as Lopez will grab that loose ball. Waiting for help. And now Nolski will grab it from him and get into the offensive zone. Nolski, another Parkland Posse product. Rookie, taken by the Crude in the first round this season. Here's Kerr, left side. Kerr bulls his way to the net. Stopped by Zadrazil. Weatherby, breakaway pass, Gaudreau. Gaudreau in on Horn, and he sends that over the net. And we're playing some pond lacrosse right now, if there ever was such a thing. Obviously, you can't play lacrosse on a pond. Maybe backyard ball would be the best example or the best phrase to use. But it's the equivalent to pond hockey right now here from St. Albert. Here's Schaff up top. Schaff, his shot gets blocked. Now back in on the Outlaws, it's going to be Crude ball. As we sit here with 2:58 to go here in the second period, shot count 36-29 Outlaws, score 6-5 Outlaws. Kerr out in front as he picked up that loose ball off the boards. And again, it looked like the defender just sort of forgot about him. And Zadrazil able to fight that off. Here's Rogalski heading north with it. Here's Tompkins. Tompkins, hop step. Tompkins swings that over to Turner. Turner, down low to Maloney. Turner sets a seal. Maloney can't get around his defenders. Good defense there by Fry. Taking top side away. Hobday sends that one in on a slap shot. Fry soaks that, and it'll be an Outlaw shot clock violation and Crude ball. Here's Schaff. Schaff over to Leung. Leung bounce shot. That's stopped. Now he gets his own rebound. Stopped again by Zadrazil. Schaff on the right side battling for it. A couple of Outlaws go in to try and gain possession. Schaff back with it. He rolls off a check. Schaff up across the top. He gets it to Stenson. Stenson met there by two Outlaws. Leung over to Knowlton. That gets stopped by Zadrazil. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up to the Outlaws as Cutler grabbed a Crude player, and likely a holding call. We'll see the official. That's exactly what it'll be. It'll be a 2-minute holding call on Cutler. And with 1:37 to go in the second period, the Crude will go to the power play trailing by 1. So the Crude power play will start up here with Fry directing traffic. Here's Leung. Fry back to Kerr. Fry plays catch with Kerr. Leung back to Kerr. And here are the Crude running a little bit of motion now. Kerr. Fry rolls to middle, and Kerr just shoots that right through Zadrazil. It's 6-6. And that's definitely one Zadrazil is going to want to have back, as the Crude knot this one up. We're tied again. Now off the draw. Stick, the ball will stay on the back of the stick of Wedman, and he'll flip back to Hobday, who eventually ends up with it off the bench. Sika winds and fires, and that goes far side. Good low shot there on Horn as the Outlaws reclaim the lead 7-6. and don't have to say it a lot or go into too much detail, but the Outlaws have an opportunity to make the playoffs for the first time since they became the Outlaws back in 2018, and you know it's an opportunity and a chance that's not going over their heads right now as they sit here with a 7-6 lead and 40 seconds remaining here in the second period. And Weatherby will grab that loose ball and get the Outlaw offense out here, as they will have about 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock, 25 seconds remaining in the period. Here's Lee. Lee tries to step around his defender. Good defense there by Fry. He just tried to send that into the corner. Nobody there. And it'll be Crude ball with 10 seconds to go here in the second period, as Wedman jogs it into the Outlaw zone. He's jumped there by Gaudreau. Stenson, shot clock winding down. Stenson allowed to just sort of run to the net, but not aware of the clock. It's gonna wind down, and at the end of the second period, your score will be the Beaumont Outlaws 7 and the St. Albert Crude 6. And once again, we thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. It is almost playoff time here as we wind down the regular season. These two fighting for the last playoff spot in the North. And we want to remind you that we're here with you all summer long through the playoffs, both in Junior B and Senior B, and into the Junior B Provincials and through the Junior B Provincials in Beaumont, as the Outlaws will be hosting and a winner will be crowned and sent to Poco, BC for the Founders Cup in mid to late August. Again, the Beaumont Outlaws leading the St. Albert Cruise by a score of 7-6. We'll be back right here with you on CROW LAX TV in just under 10 minutes time. As we welcome you back here into the Jerome McGinley Arena. It's the Outlaws with a 7-6 lead over the Crude. As the Outlaws continue to push for that last playoff spot in the North. Shots coming into the third period. The Outlaws with 36 and the Crude with 34. Here is Long for the Outlaws. And Maloney. Hop step up near boards. Maloney off of the boards, got the loose ball. Looked like it went off of a stick or something and walked out in front and reached around horn. It's 8-6. Little bit of a strange one there for the Outlaws. They'll take it. And some type of face-off violation is going to end up with the Crude gaining possession. Here's Harris. Harris, pick set there. Here's Stenson off of the broken play. He tried to send that in front to a cutting Harris. It went off an Outlaw, and it'll be a fresh 30 for the Crude. Here's Stenson. Stenson got that out in front to Knowlton, but wasn't able to grab the bouncing ball, and now they're going to battle for it. Eventually, Weatherby will go and grab that and take a whack, and they will catch that. And the Outlaws will come up floor with a delayed penalty. Here's Hobday. Hobday. Back up top to Maloney. Maloney to Lee. Lee swings it over to Hobday. Hobday tried to get Tompkins over there on the far crease. Wasn't ready for it. Play will be blown dead, and the Crude will make their way to the box. It'll be Kerr for the high stick. So with 18:32 to go in the third period, the Outlaws will have an opportunity to extend this lead out a little bit. Here's Hobday. Maloney. He tried to hit that seam pass through the box again down to Tompkins, and that was knocked down. Here's Nolsky. Up floor. Nolsky. It's going to get doubled here by Maloney and Hobday. They take him into the boards. Ball is going to be picked up by Zadrazil as it made its way back towards the Outlaw net. Cutler jumps up for that, unable to get it. Now he eventually will go get that loose ball and safely bounce it over to Hobday with 1:10 to go in this power play. 17:40 to go in the game. Outlaws leading 8-6. Hobday to a wide open Preston Stewart inside. That's stopped. And now Drader rolling off of a check. He loses it. Now the Crude are going to hustle to avoid the 10-second count. They do so, and here's Schaff. Schaff up top. Stenson. He tried to get that over to the near side of the floor. That was Knowlton. Now Knowlton goes and picks up a loose ball. And with the shot clock winding down, not able to get a shot off, and it'll be Outlaw ball. Here's Lee. Lee up top. Lee. Stewart. As Tompkins goes in behind the net. Tompkins Stewart back with it. Now Nestor picks up that loose ball. No reset, and it'll be Crude possession. Now the ball gets sent up floor to Kerr, who engages his defender. Hits Fry. Fry with a winding shot that gets stopped by Zadrazil as he drops to his knees. And now Long will come out over center with it. Long. Over to Sika. Sika gets that ball up top to Hobday. Here's Maloney. And Maloney flips inside to Hobday. That doesn't reach him. Now Turner backdoor to Lee. And Lee tried to fit that ball inside the short side. Not able to do so. And here's Walker out over center floor. Walker to Simon Leung. He cut hard to the net. And now Cook is going to battle forward. He almost picked it up 3 different times. Never did. And instead it'll be Schaff with it. Schaff, Stenson. Knowlton. Knowlton swings that over to Leung. Leung, backdoor to Schaff. Schaff cuts out in front of the net. That was stopped by Zadrazil. And awkwardly going down was Wedman for the Outlaws. He looks to be all right, though, as the Outlaws will hit the floor, and it's Nestor. And Lee with a sidearm shot. Tried to go 5-hole, and Horn able to keep that from crossing the line. Here's McBride. He flips to Fry. Fry down the right side. Now the ball's going to be knocked loose, and it's going to be picked up by the Outlaws as they go in transition. That's Sutherland for the Outlaws, and he'll hand off to Maloney. Here's Tompkins. Tompkins back up top to Sika. Sika, Maloney. Maloney winding and trying to hit that far side. That goes wide, and the shot clock's going to expire. It'll be Crude ball with 13:54 to go, third period. They trail the Outlaws 8-6. Here's Knowlton, half wall on the near boards. He's going to lose that. Ball's going to be battled for, and it's going to be picked up. Well, it looked like it was going to be picked up, but instead the Outlaws just shoved Knowlton to the floor. Easy loose ball interference call. Crude will be awarded possession here with a fresh 30. And now on the crease violation, the Outlaws will come up floor. Here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau right down the middle with it. He takes a shot into the chest of Horn. And now Wedman. They're gonna say interference off away from the ball, and the Outlaws will have possession again. Rogalski with a wild shot. That goes off of a body. Be picked back up by Maloney over center floor. Here's Hobday. Hobday. Here's Lee. He tried to go high on Horn, misses the net as Hobday works his way down low. Tried to throw the ball back up high. The shot clock will expire. It'll be Crude ball. 12:45 to go, third period. Outlaws 8, Crude 6. As Knowlton gets out in front, taken down. There'll be a delayed penalty call against the Outlaws as they remove the goaltender to go 6-on-5 on the delayed call. Kerr out in front. And Zadrazil dropped down to his knees to stop that. The Outlaws will go a man down here. Gaudreau into the box. And the Crude will go to the power play, down by a couple. So now the Crude power play with an opportunity to cut into this 2-goal lead. Here's Simon Leung, left crease, Kerr, Fry. Now that's going to be dropped. It was picked up by Rogalski, and he then loses it, and the Crude will go back up into the Outlaw zone. Kerr will wind and fire into the midsection of Zadrazil. It'll be Outlaw ball. Here's Weatherby down into the Crude zone. He'll go around the net. Outlaws try to kill some time here. Weatherby runs across, up high. He'll hold on to it. As he goes down, he gets whacked. Now a penalty will come, and a little bit of shoving here as the refs come to break it up. The Crude will come out of this with, looks like the only penalty. And so with 11:22 to go here in the third period, these two will go at it 4-on-4 for the next minute. As the Crude bench looks for an explanation for that last call. Here's Maloney. He hits Hobday. Hobday winds and fires. That gets stopped by Horn. Here's Hobday. Ball gets shot. They say it clipped a piece of Crude equipment and it'll be Outlaw ball. As this game's really slowed down here. Here's Maloney. Maloney off of the chest of Horn. And they say the Outlaws stepped in the crease, it'll be Crude ball. 4-on-4, they'll continue here for the next 10 seconds, and then the Outlaws will have a brief power play. Here's Kerr out of the corner. He's checked there by Sika. And a massive hit there as Leung got blown up. It'll be Outlaw ball here as the 32nd goes. Here's Hobday. Here's Lee. Lee to Maloney. Hobday. Lee. Lee winds and fires and scores. Does that look like it clipped the short side low? It's 9-6 Outlaws. So with 9:37 to go here, the Outlaws taking a 9-6 lead. The Crude will have to press here to try to stem this run by the Outlaws, as since going down 5-2 after the first period, have outscored the Crude by a 7-1 count and currently hold that 9-6 lead. And with only 9.5 minutes to go, the Crude are going to have to answer here relatively quickly if they want to have a shot to get back into this one. And off the draw, the Outlaws will gather and head up floor. It'll be long. He gets it to Turner. Here's Turner. Swings that over to Maloney. Maloney. That's Nestor out of the corner, as Lee took a hard hit and got thrown down to the floor. Here's Lee. Lee up top. Lee winds and fires again, and this time Horn says no. He traps the ball against the cement. Crude will get an offensive opportunity here. Here's Knowlton. Hard pick there, set by Fry. Then the ball's sent way over his head. Back down to Horn, and he'll throw this back up floor. And with like 6 or 7 seconds on the shot clock, that just got set down in the Outlaw zone, and they'll take over. Here's Hobday. Next goal, massive in this one. If the Outlaws get it, that's curtains, and that definitely feels like curtains right there, as Hobday stepped around the defender and sent one low on Horn. It's 10-6. And that's a shot you have seen beat Horn here a few times. That low sidearm being pulled from the lefties back to the short side. Good shot there. Didn't even have a whole lot on it, but very accurate and great placement by Hobday, and it's 10-6. Here's Fry. Jumps down the near side and tried to tuck that one in on Zadrzil. Nothing there, 5-hole, and it'll be Outlaw ball. Here's Cook, as he gets taken into the corner by 2 Crude defenders. Lopez and Fry with aggressive defense, and now they'll say it'll be Crude ball. 10-6, Outlaws lead, 7:40 to go, third period. Here's Kerr. Kerr loses that. Ball goes down onto the floor. It's going to be knocked back, and now Knowlton will run this down with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball's whipped up. Now that's going to be knocked away from a Crude player. And ball will get picked up again by the Crude, but the shot clock expires. It'll be Outlaw ball. And now before they even blow it in, the Outlaws drop it. And they rightfully wait for the ball to be blown in. And Lee tried to hit Nestor down on the crease, who fell down. Stewart to a cutter, and that was Stewart walking down the middle of the floor, cutting in. He grabs that and in one motion fires it into the net. It's 11-6. As another penalty will be assessed here. Looks like a rough on the Crude. It beat Zwenka. So 6:54 to go here in the third period. The Outlaws, having extended this lead to 11-6, they will go to the power play. As the box here buzzing the officials over, confused, they want confirmation about something. And as that happens, we'll take a brief time out here and be right back with you here on CROW LAX TV. And so the Outlaws power play will hit the floor, and Hobday will work that back up top. Here's Lee. Maloney and Lee exchange. Stewart up to Lee. Maloney will take that shot, goes off his stick into the near boards. It'll be picked up by the Crude as they get that shot clock violation on the Outlaws. As the Outlaws will grab that loose ball and head up the floor. Ball's wound and fired by Stewart. Ball's going to be picked back up by Lee. Stewart, as the Outlaw bench directs him to use it, meaning wait this 30 shot clock out a little bit and not rush a shot. Here's Stewart. Tried to go to a Tompkins down low on the quick stick. That was misfired on. And now Hobday with a sidearm stop by Horn. Now over center as the ball bounces. Blake tries to pick that up. He's not able to, and it'll be another Outlaw reset. As this Zwenka comes back out onto the floor, the teams will go back to even strength, and Turner will shoot that one in on net. Ball goes loose, back into Horn, and he'll outlet to Harris. Harris casually trying to pick this one up. He sends that one in on Zadrazil as he picked the loose ball up right on top of the crease, and it'll be Hobday with it. Hobday takes a whack from Harris. He bounces that over to Sika. Maloney. And a massive moving pick. They'll get Stewart for the infraction, and they'll call a cross check. And it'll be a Crude power play. And they'll continue to discuss this. Looks like maybe a little bit of a change to the original call. Looks like they're going to go with 4 minutes instead of 2. So the Crude will have a 4-minute power play to work with, trailing by 5 at 4 minutes to go here. As official Nathaniel Gillespie goes over to the Outlaw bench to explain what they saw and what they're calling here. And Fry will come back into the offensive zone. Ball sent inside. That was Kerr on the cut. Bounced it wide. It'll be Outlaw ball. There's the Outlaws with Maloney. Ball goes into the glass. Sika picks it up. Sika takes that shot. A couple more players tie up. Looks like they're going to take both Searson and Hobday. So the Crude power play will go from a 5-on-4 to a 4-on-3. As Nathaniel Gillespie kicks both Hobday and Searson out, who didn't want to stop talking. Obviously not a huge deal with 3.5 minutes to go and the Outlaws holding 11-6 lead. As they discuss here out on the floor about what exactly they're going to administer, we'll take a quick break and be right back here on CROW LAX TV. So as things get sorted out here, it's both Hobday and getting sent to the showers for the Outlaws and Searson getting sent to the showers for the Crude. And we'll pick it back up here, 4-on-4, Outlaws and Crude. As Tompkins hits Sika. Sika with a sidearm into Horn, and now a massive moving pick in the middle of the floor as Harris ran over Sika. Easy possession call. Could have probably been more, but at this point in the game, I don't really see the referees going out of their way to want to call penalties, especially against the Crude with this game out of reach. Here is Sika with it. Sika underneath his defender, and that gets stopped by Horn. Ball's going to go loose. Net's way off. And now it's going to be picked back up by the Outlaws as Harris and Cutler are going to push each other. And now Harris grabs Cutler's face mask. And They don't look like they're going to go, though, as the refs get in between them. And another little bit of a delay here. The refs figure out what they'll assess here. Again, once again, we'll hit a commercial and be right back here on CROW LAX TV. And now Kerr wide open as the two teams play 3-on-3. As he goes right to the net. Good stop there by Zadrazil with the left shoulder. Fry swings it to Kerr. Kerr goes underneath his defender. That's flipped back over to Knowlton. Ball's going to go loose. Zadrazil will collect the loose change. As you can tell, both teams sort of look like they wanted this to play out here. The Outlaws just taking their time here up the floor. And of course, no type of 8-second or 10-second count with both teams playing 3-on-3. Now the shot clock is going to wind down and it'll be Crude ball with 1:55 to go and the Outlaws holding an 11-6 advantage. Here's Fry, gets sent into the boards by Sika, and the Outlaws will come back into the offensive zone. Now Lopez. Sneak attacks Gaudreau, knocks the ball loose, and Zadrazil has to bat it back down into the Crude zone. The Crude will pull their goaltender and go what would be a 4-on-3 right now. It'll be Simon Leung joining the Crude offense. Actually a 5-on-3 now for the Crude as they have the net empty. Ball's blocked there by the Outlaws D. And now Zadrazil with it. As Rogalski will sprint out over center into the Crude zone. He takes a hard hit into the boards. Now Noski will come up on top of him. Rogalski rolls that into the Crude zone. As a couple more players tie up here. Nothing much is going to come out of that. And Dzwanko will come out into the Outlaw zone. And he buries that into the logo of Zadrazil. As the Outlaws will just hold on to this as the clock winds down to zeros. And the final score will be the Beaumont Outlaws 11 and the St. Albert Crude 6. The Beaumont Outlaws improving to a record of 6-11, and the St. Albert Crude falling to a mark of 4-13. The Outlaws will host the Rebels in what will be almost certainly a first-round North matchup in the playoffs on Sunday afternoon at Ken Nickel Arena. while the Crude will go to Red Deer tomorrow. All but out of the playoff race at this point. Again, the final score here from Jerome McGinley Arena. The Beaumont Outlaws 11, the St. Albert Crude 6. We thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.